year 3, because it's going to be an ongoing professional development for all of us. But today, just for time's sake, we're going to focus on tier 1.
All right, so as we already said, it's how you act, react, and interact. It's your first step in social learning. Understand that when these students come into your classroom, you have them in locus parentis. So and I tell some teachers, because you have teachers that say they don't have any home training. No, they have home training. They don't have school and society training. So that's what we have to do in order to get them in a position where they're able to learn and move forward. Gone are the days of just teaching the content. So some of tier 1 practices, again, this is listed too on your summary sheet in the back, so I'm not going to read all of these for you. But what are some things that you think you can do in the classroom? I know we talked about the different love languages and how they incorporate, but to reach all of your students, what are some things that you think that you can do?
I've got something.
Go ahead.
I'm making sure there's a routine. The first 5 data and studies show that the first 5 minutes in your class and the last 5 minutes in your class are the times that the kids misbehave. And why is that? That's because they're coming in. There's no structured routine. They're getting out their materials. They're wanting to chat. So having that specific routine, when they walk in, this is what you're doing. Right at the end, this is how we end our day. Having a set schedule, because that's when these types of behaviors will come out.
All right. Good one. Thank you.
I was going to say, just piggybacking off of that, is like when they're coming in the morning, we all know that our students are, like, especially the elementary levels, we have a little more leeway with that. I know middle and high school, you guys, they come in and you got to hit the ground running. But at the elementary level, when they come in the morning, children are social creatures. We're all social creatures. And if we don't give them a little bit of leeway to talk with their friends, in my classroom, we have a big orange arrow that points to the 10 on the clock, so they know it's 7:50, and we have to cut it down. So I understand that for the first 15 minutes that they're coming in, the roundup, they haven't seen their friends since yesterday, or maybe they haven't seen their friends since Friday. And so they need a few minutes to share, get unpacked, talk with each other, and then get settled. And that in and of itself is a routine, and they know what it is.
As long as it's a set routine.
But it allows them that time to socialize. And
So
be social.
with that routine, which love languages did she touch on? Words. Quality time.
Yeah.
And I also think about not being popular, like being that popular teacher, but being that personal teacher. Not all students, like we keep saying, have that connection at home. They might not have the wonderful parents that you are. And so having that personal connection, not the popular connection, but the personal, showing them that, hey, I care about you. I want you to succeed. I want you to go forth. I want you to go through college.
And in that I saw your hand.
Oh,
Thank
no,
you.
good.
In that example itself, what do you think the teacher is doing while they're doing all of that? While they're putting their book bags up and, getting themselves together, what is she
Well, I was
doing?
gonna say personally, I mean, I'm not in the hallway washing my classroom, but socializing with Nancy. We sit out there and we talk and we catch up. So I can connect to the kids in that way as you wanna see, you wanna talk with them for a little bit.
But you're also greeting the students.
You're greeting them in the
You're
morning.
greeting them outside.
And I,
No
going off
attendance.
that, I think that kind of leads into that quality time, because right away I've noticed kids walking in and they're in a mood, and I can say, what is wrong? We're not coming into the classroom like this. And so that way I can flip them before they even enter into the classroom. So if you are standing in the hall, you can get that quality time. Give them the words they need to hear, maybe the touch if they need a hug, and then let them come into your safe environment.
There also, if Susie is struggling with her backpack or putting her lunch up, you most likely are going to say, let me help you with that, or your coat, or even
That goes to acts.
acts of service. Or what I've learned is that kids also love to do acts of service. So their peer is also going to say, I can do it. And of course, they may rip the backpack off their back, and then it may end up being something. if you don't catch it and kind of help them understand what's going on, then and there. But, you know, so they're, at that moment, they're receiving their, and you, if you're observing, you can see what their actual love language is.
Having a community, it says use us and we in the classroom. Having that sense of community within the classroom, not like you do this, I do this, but us. We do this, we're a family. Having that, again, showing that personal lens, talking about your life to your students. You're not just asking about them, they know all about you. I was at the ball field Sunday, and with my own children, and I saw a former student from 3 years ago, and she comes up to me, Maya, and she gives me a big hug, and then she asked, is Rylan playing baseball right now? Like, she remembered his name, she knew I was there because of Rylan, and she came over and watched him play, showing that you have that personal connection. And this is a student that has gone far beyond showing that personal connection. Again, I have another student this year that has academically not done so well, ever. And I really took it upon myself this year to put him in my hip pocket, to give him hugs, to really relate, to know exactly what's going on in his life. You know who I'm talking about. And the successes that this child made out of 4 SOLs, he's never passed an SOL in his life. He passed 3 of the 4. And it was because I know, he never said, but I know it's because of me loving him like he was my own. And again, when these students see that you want the best for them, they're going to want to please you and want to succeed.
And it's not enough to say it. Because we say it often, like, I want the best for you. Or, like, I know with me, I spend a lot of time, because again, I'm the behavior specialist, so they don't like Mr. Fleming, so they come to me, Mr. Fleming, so, and I'm like, okay, well,
They do.
no. Honestly, like, he truly wants the best for you. Let me show you what he was doing or how he was trying to show you that. And when I explain it, they be like, well, but they get it, but you know, initially, they just think that Mr. Flemings is the worst in the world and he just wants to make it hard for them. But he wants them to be responsible and wants them, and by the way, Mr. Flemings does GED, so the kids are already 16 and up. So, you know, there's some clashing there.
Okay, which leads us into our restorative practices. Our restorative practices are something that we're going to implement here at the school this year to make sure that we're meeting. We might not teach, we teach our own content areas. Like I said, we're all in different aspects, but we're all responsible for teaching the human growth of a student. And that's why we're all here together. We know that they're not going to all choose your content area to go into. We have some that go off to trade school. We have others that, you know, become plumbers. It's that we know that we're pushing them, that they can all live in a society and, you know, lead us. Because, like our principal says, these are our future. Our children are our future, and they are going to be the ones taking care of us. So we need to make sure that we are doing what we need. We need to support them by dealing with the traumas that they have and utilizing this positive behavior supports with the 5 love languages and providing that personalized learning to meet the diverse needs of all learners within that classroom. And not just your students, your parents as well, because they are a huge make it or break it for a school year for you. And you learning to see how those parents speak their love language is a completely way to bring them into your world to get them to, for their students to do what you need them to do. Just because we're short on time, what we're going to move to right now is we're going to move out into the scenarios. Give me 10 more minutes, guys, and we'll be done, okay? In your packets, there is a packet of scenarios. May I borrow yours for a second? Right here. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to break it up just for time's sake. We have 3 different scenarios, and what you're going to do, I'm going to do you 4. You 2, and you 2, just because. Can we do, let's do elementary, middle, and high school. And that's broken up that way. So you'll look at Renee's story, Samantha's story, and Deshawn's story. And what we'd like you to do is read their home life, what they do in the classroom, and I'd like you to come up with what love language these students speak and one strategy that you could use
To support them.
to support them. And you can work with your team. And then after this,
We'll close out.
So what love language and what strategy? What kind of gives me underlying is part of demanding the teacher's attention, so maybe she's looking for that quality time. The quality time, it says they're the student is demanding the teacher's attention, which makes me think maybe she's looking for that time.
Because it seems like Sean, he seems like he has a lot of variables in his life.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, and it might, you might interpret like all these changes are made because we don't value these to move around, so.
Yeah,
Sean,
exactly. I was looking at those, you know,
and then also quality time again, because he's
Okay, so
pushed
you
around.
want us to find out what it is and then one,
Yep, and then just one quick strategy.
Yeah.
That supports that PGIS here.
Strategies.
And exactly, I'm not getting this, but it needs to
and then the other part is, making some positive communication with the parents.
But, yeah, for the Sean, probably like, okay,
She bounced back.
it's a video game.
Okay, about one more minute.
It's pretty easy, so you can take your money.
You're in good conversation.
Just call and and it's gotta start small and get up and build it. Sound like that's good.
The reason I asked is it's about from the teacher she said.
Oh, really?
That's what she said when they got married, so she felt so separated. I didn't know if that teacher thought I had problems with her, you know, like.
That was 10 years later.
But she forgot about it, probably 10 years later.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, we are gonna-
Okay, about 30 more seconds.
I've been decreasing.
A little bit about having organized things set up, maybe having your focus
Yeah,
on
I'm a
this
little
young
bit-
child.
Okay, so you can
Where
read
you
it.
begin with
But I want
your
to go.
words of affirmation, that would be time spent. But doing
Oh,
it
yeah, no,
consistently.
I live on the other side of
And
town.
I'm at.
All right, about 30 more seconds, and then we're gonna share out.
I start out.
I'll definitely be a
Like
student that I have
5 years
in
elementary, 3 years middle.
Yeah, words of
And then that way you
despite all these
share
changes.
some of it.
3 more years or so.
And then that way you're doing the touch and the numbers and that way with the, okay, is then that all the time.
But I'm always working with her and doing check in, check out.
Slash
Would be good for her to assign her to a teacher that's not her teacher.
Okay, what I'd like you to do now is you're just gonna give us a little quick background of your student, what love language they spoke, and one way that you can reach that love language and a strategy that you can implement within your classroom. Let's start with elementary. Who was your candidate in elementary? Renee. Who wants to give me a little background of Renee's background?
Real quick.
Okay, Renee is in 3rd grade and she is gifted, however, she is a behavior problem. She demands the teacher's attention and, students have complained, parents have complained to the principal, but the principal is kind of treading lightly because the father got laid off 6 months ago. So we think that the biggest thing for her is that she wants that quality time. If she's demanding the teacher's attention, then that was a red flag for us. And we talked about how maybe if the dad's been laid off, he's probably not in the best mood to give that quality time. And then you came up with the intervention about,
Well, I picked up on what Kendall had talked about, starting the day when the child approaches the classroom to do an interaction and using quality time, number one, just to interact the words of affirmation. And I didn't even go into this when we're talking to the group, but get her involved in an act of service, allowing her to feel like she is doing something and adding to the classroom.
Excellent. So yes, acts of service, words of affirmation, is kind of what I was thinking with that. Acts of service because, like she said, she's gifted, first of all, and two, she reported, it was a report or something
Her
about.
parents complained about her from the children.
Yeah, but it was also saying that the other students got away with the stuff that she was doing and that kind of thing, which makes me think that she is observing the other students and seeing what they're doing. And again, she's gifted, so she could probably give back and feel like a help to the teacher versus the teacher don't like me. So it definitely the words of affirmation work for everyone in my mind.
Excellent. Middle school. Tell us about your student.
Sure. It's a young lady who's in 6th grade who's overweight. She's on a 3rd grade reading level. Mom works a lot, so have a lot of time with mom. Lives with her boyfriend. Boyfriend drops her off at home. She seems to do, she's not doing well in school, but she seems to do well with chorus and art. The other part is she has no close friends and she's always alone at school. So, and when the school finally had an opportunity to talk to mom, parent comes out and says, well, it's the teacher's job to do. And we've all had those type of parents saying it's the teacher's job. So we talked about giving words of affirmation because this child's not used to being told a great job and how they feel in a sense of community. And then we also talked about some acts of service, trying to get the child more involved in school. And it's a building up process. You start small, work your way up. She's been late to school, but that day she's on time. Hey, great job. And don't just say great job. Hey, great job getting to school on time.
PBI.
Right, exactly. Why they're getting it.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So, and just start with that and work your way. And it's going to be a struggle. Yeah, mom, she struggled with this, but she came back and she hung in there and we worked with her. And then the other part, although she's in 6th grade, and reads on a 3rd grade reading level, you might want to try to get some of those 3rd grade reading level materials to her. Because I've done elementary 5 years and that helps. So you start small and work your way up.
Exactly. Excellent.
Also, with her, when she's staying back, and she's staying back with either a group or and a teacher or an adult that's giving her quality time. Also with her, she likes art, right? Art and music are kind of like hands-on things. So that touch, but you have to touch carefully with her because you know the mom boyfriend.
Yeah.
But also I feel like with that one also physical touch will play into it as well, even if it's good job, you know, again, just to, again, because she seems to be a hands-on person with that arts and chorus kind of interests.
We have to be careful when we touch his nails.
Right,
Yes,
and that's why I said be
very
careful.
right.
Well,
Very careful.
Actually,
I don't touch it all,
I-
to tell you the
yeah.
truth.
Yeah.
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 Well, we were thinking too, even doing the check-in, check-out, that kind of positive mentoring.
Mhm.
You know, and assigning a teacher that's not her teacher,
Mhm.
that she can check in and check out with. And it doesn't have to be, you know, a long time. It could be 2 minutes in the morning, 2 minutes in the afternoon. She's got goals that she and her teacher, or she and the principal have developed, that she's gonna work on and she's held accountable for, and maybe even finding other ways to communicate with mom, since mom's hard to reach. So, you know, sometimes parents, you need another outlet for them. I don't care if it's a sticky note that says, hey, like you said, she did a great job today. I just wanted to tell you that because you know, sometimes we get caught up in we want to let the parents know what's going on at school. We forget to let them know the good things that are going on.
That's
right.
So that goes back to the quality time and words of affirmation. All right, high school, bring it on home.
Deshaun, he basically he seems to me like a person who might feel like he's lost in the fold. His parents divorced, his mom had to move with his grandparents. You know, a lot of his classes were changed because of class, you know, what state mandated class sizes. Let's see what else about him. He's really low and he's failing algebra and he has a D in English. So
With the assistant principal a lot, constantly getting in trouble.
yeah, definitely. So I mean, basically what we said is that, you know, his love languages were words of affirmation and quality time. Deshaun might feel like because he's lost in the fold and a lot of variables in his life are outside his control, might have like some esteem issues, like I'm not good enough to be, you know, in this world, so y'all keep putting me in this world and, you know, telling me, you know, just forcing me to do all of these things. So he might need some, not even still valuable, might want some quality time, gifts as well. Just need, you know, Deshaun just needs time to just like be left to his own devices so he can sort things out. You know.
Another thing with Deshaun is that, thank you, awesome, he's 16. So the gifts piece comes in with one, the age, and two, with him being 16 in the 9th grade, you have to figure out what's in it for him. And at that age, he's gonna have to use some extrinsic motivation with him, to get him to start to, see the purpose of it. So receiving gifts, and gifts in the form of tokens, allowing him time to meet with his friends, because I don't think you guys said it, but he had a schedule change that he didn't want.
He went out to lunch with his friends.
So he's not allowed lunch with his friends because his schedule changed. It had nothing to do with him, it was out of his control totally. So that extrinsic motivation to help him keep his grades up, help him want to learn, and probably like Mr. Fleming said also, meeting him where he is as far as educationally.
Plus
to
he's a
get him
16-year-old boy, video
Right.
game time. Like,
Yeah,
There you go.
so, thank you, appreciate it.
Well, we hope that we answered all those questions that I threw out there at the beginning of it. Why are we doing this? Don't we need to focus on the other? But we see how it all intermingles as educators. And we always have to remember and keep in our head, we're here to serve them. We're here to do this for them. This is what we chose to do. We need to make sure we keep that in our forefront. As you leave today, we're going to let you go with one last video, and you may fill out your exit slip, please. We would love your feedback. You don't have to put your name if you don't want to. And please be honest on the exit ticket.
Yes.
I'll be honest, this was my first professional development that I've ever done. So any effective feedback, I would personally love, and Lakeisha's a pro at it. So I'm going to leave you with this video. I know it's the summertime, but think about this video. This is very inspiring. I did this a couple years ago with a student, and it kind of turned her around by the end of the year. So think about this video while you fill out your exit slip, what you can do next year at your school and in your classroom.
And if you haven't signed in, please sign in before you leave.
And also, if you'd like to network, this is a perfect opportunity to network. If you would like to get someone's email address, because we're all from different areas, different ideas, different suggestions. We have Title I school teachers, we have middle class, we have private day schools, we have it all. So this is a perfect time to network, to be able to, you know, bounce ideas off of each other. But please continue to inspire.
I had a quick question. Are you gonna provide like a PD certificate for this? Because this is technically.
We can email it to you.
Okay,
Put your
great.
email on the sign.
Absolutely.
I wanted to let you know that you inspire me to be a better teacher. You make me want to come to school every day. I think you're awesome.
Oh, sorry guys, I want it louder.
There it is.
So I'm doing a positive Oak Park project, and you're one of the students I selected, and I wanted to let you know that you inspire me to be a better teacher, and you make me want to come to school every day. And I think you're awesome, so keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I was inspired by to come to work every day for. And it is you, because of your work ethic and your incredible drive to continually be successful every single day.
Your attitude and your work ethic and And you inspire me to come to work every day as a teacher, and you need to keep up what you're doing because you're awesome.
Are you serious?
Yep. Yep, inspires me to come to work every day. And you are that student.
So my project is that I'm supposed to pick a student in our school that inspires me to come to work every day. And, this is gonna cry. So that student is you.
I just wanted to tell you that I appreciate you, and you're the reason that I come to work every day, because
And I really appreciate all the cool stuff you do in English. You write awesome stories.
You are one of those people.
I have been challenged to find a student who makes me want to come to school every day. And that's you.
You, Sierra, that student, you are one of the reasons that I
The
get out of there and come
expressions
here
that
every day. So,
You have a smile on your face, you seem excited to be there, and you're always just a pleasant person to be around, and I enjoy having you.
I know where nothing was. So I just want to tell Chad I appreciate him and his positive attitude.
I just wanted to tell you, Jean, that I appreciate you. And I think that you are seriously really thinking about your students. And I love the way that you are so kind to me.
Talk to a student about why I feel inspired to come to work every day, and wanted you to know that you're one of the reasons.
Positivity challenge, and I pick you, not gonna cry, as one of the reasons why I come to school every day.
to come to school and work hard every day. And you two are two of the people that make it fun for me to come to work. And I like coming and seeing you, and you're the reason I get out of bed and come here in the mornings.
and I want to come every day and be here so I can see you achieve those goals.
I just wanted to say how much I really appreciate what you've done so far in class.
You inspire me to come to work every day. And I wanted to tell you that I appreciate you. Oh, don't cry. Bring it in.
And you make me a better human being every time I get to work with you. So there you go.
It might be a little bit of sassiness, it might be some sarcasm, it might be, a snappy remark here or there. But I appreciate your personal spark that you bring to everything.
You're just a light in the class. You're smart, you're funny, and you make me want to be a better teacher because you're an awesome kid.
Aww.
Yes, you. Yes, you. Definitely you. That's all.
I've been challenged to find a student who makes me want to come to school every day. And I chose you because you always check on me and make sure that I'm feeling okay.
We have to pick a student who inspires us to come to work every day, and I picked you.
Because you inspire me to come to school every day. You are my success story, and I believe in you, and I think you're going to make it to gold medallion, and I root for you every day.
So I picked you. Really? Yeah, because you're friendly and enthusiastic, and you care about school, and you're always trying your hardest.
To recognize a student who inspires me to come to work every day. I chose you, Mackenzie Long, because every day that I come to work, I always see your smiling face. I chose you because you're funny, you make me laugh, you're sweet, you give me hugs every morning, and you make sure that you tell me good morning and goodbye every day. I so appreciate you, and you make my coming to work every day better.
But thank you for being the reason that I come to work every day is for kids like you that can help you and be a part of their lives.
So thank you very much, Diana. I appreciate all you do for us with Oak Park.
And I choose you because you always have a smile on your face, you're always kind to me, and you always say hello. We're super proud of you guys. We just want you guys to know it. Okay, keep up the good work.
So I have been challenged to find a student that makes me want to come to work every day. And so I chose you, even though I don't have you this year.
Yeah.
I always look forward to students that are like you. I look forward to seeing you because you make me inspired.
You should. You are special. All right.
even though you don't realize it, it makes people's day go better, so I really appreciate you, and I'm gonna miss you next year. Yeah, love you too. Alright?
So thank you guys for coming out. We really appreciate each and every one of you. Look forward to more of these as Kendall wants to embark on this journey of professional development as well as myself. So again, thank you guys. I appreciate you.
And the basis of this came from data from our school where students felt that they weren't being heard and the teachers also felt they weren't being heard. So that's where we based this off of our climate survey. I didn't add that at the beginning. Thank you so much.